Hello there and welcome to another Classic Golf Clubs video. I've made quite a few videos now about vintage clubs, reviewing them, investigating manufacturers and discussing the top professionals of the time, but I've never yet made a video about how to find and buy vintage and classic clubs. In this video I'll attempt to rectify that and explain for anybody that's interested in vintage golf where they can find and buy vintage golf clubs. As with many antique and collectible items, the internet has made things much easier when it comes to locating what you're looking for. For old golf clubs, the three best sources are probably eBay, Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree. So let's take a look at each in turn. Starting with eBay. And here we have the front page. So if I go to, there's a number of ways we can get there, but we need to filter down from all of the heaters, the clothing, the sports goods, everything that is on there to find golf clubs. So if I go up here, shop by category, we get a number of subheadings, sporting goods, and I click on golf. That will then bring up a whole host of golf items, and if I click on golf clubs and equipment, it brings up a few more subheadings and I pick golf clubs. So that's got me to where I can find golf clubs, but this is all golf clubs that are listed on eBay. Most of them will be on eBay UK, which is where I'm based. If you're based in America, for instance, you'll be seeing golf clubs mainly in America. So what I need to do is filter away all of the modern golf clubs and try and find the ones that I'm looking for. I'm going to put a search term in the box there, and let's just put old golf clubs. Keep it really simple, and that will bring up all sales that have got that phrase within the title. It probably won't have golf, that will be assumed, and it might not even have clubs. So most of the phrases will have old and golf in them. So if I then start to scroll down, you can see on there set of old left-handed golf clubs in new bag, old golf bag with clubs. And it's just a matter of scrolling down. You can click on each item individually. I just normally look at these thumbnails, the first thumbnail, and then click on that if I'm interested. So click on there and open that in a new tab, and then I can go back and look at them all. Old set of golf clubs, £200. Right, let's see what we've got then. I've clicked on 4 items. This was the first one. This is a set of left-handed golf clubs in new bag. We've got a number of pictures down the left-hand side here. The more pictures the better in terms of identifying what the seller's selling. Some sellers will have a good idea, others will give very little description at all. If we scroll down the page, we get to the description of the item, and here are the item specifics, which gives us condition, used, handedness left-handed, brand, Carston ×3 and Simmons ×9, golf club type iron set. Looks like we've got 3 through to 9, pitching wedge and sand wedge. So the full set of irons there. Bring on some more of the pictures. Now we can see a close-up tiger shark and a nice shark motif there. What else have we got in the set? The ram bag. Here are the woods. They look like pink Carston woods, probably I2 or something like that, and a pin cushion putter. So there we are. That's the first item we've got. No bids as yet. We can see that there. There is an option to make an offer. You can put in a higher offer than the starting bid, or you can put in a lower offer. If you're going to put in a lower offer, I wouldn't put in anything stupid, or the seller will just ignore it. So typically something between 10 and 15% lower than the starting bid will usually get the seller's interest if they've had the item on for a long time and they haven't had much interest in it. So next item, old golf bag with clubs, etc. It looks like an old 50s or 60s bag. Another picture there. And here are the clubs. We've got a right mixed batch here by the looks of it. 2 woods, 4 irons and maybe 1 putter. Mixture of grips. Here are the heads. Super Stroke, I'm not sure who made that. Looks like a Slazenger Ambassador, second from the right, and it looks like a hickory shafted putter by Spalding. And we've got a few accessories as well included, some tees, a ball, and that looks like an old green fee for Colchester Golf Club. Looks like 6th of November 1974. That's an interesting little artifact in its own right. So these are on offer at £5, free collection in person from Bishop Stortford. Next up, we've got pre-loved and collectible Ping Eye irons. Well, Ping irons always sell well, the old i2s, and this looks like the original Ping Eye iron, £150. It is quite expensive, but you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 irons there, 3 to pitching wedge. If you try to buy a set of new irons for that money, you would be paying a whole lot more than that. We'll just have a quick look at the seller information. Spending £150, you might be a little bit worried about the seller. On the seller information here, we've got the seller's name. We can see it's got 100% positive feedback, so they've never had any negative feedback, that tells us. If we look at the number of sales they've made, or the number of feedbacks that they've got, we can then look at the reply from the buyer. So the feedback received as seller here. So these are feedback that have been left by buyers from this particular seller. Great item, packed very good, so on and so on. So you can get an idea from the history of the seller whether they're reputable or not. Right, last one that we found on this search was these look like the £200 for these. So pretty optimistic price being asked by the seller. We've got a Stroke Master, which I think is a John Letters club, and we've got some Gumtree Lee Trevino personal model. I've done a review on these recently. They're closely related to the Australian Blade, and very nice clubs as well. I'm not sure how many there are in this particular bag. We've also got a John Letters Par Buster there, so we've got a bit of a mixture of clubs really. Looks like a Lee Trevino Master Mex as well. We've got even more different types. Dyna powered, I'm not sure whether that's a Spalding or a Wilson one. Bobby Lock Triple Crown, that could be Gradage I think. Oh, we've got a right mixed bag in this. Oh, we've got three bags, that's why. Or 2 bags. What does the seller say? Old sets of golf clubs, condition used. And £7.28 for postage. Oh, some interesting clubs there, but quite a high price on them. Right, well that's the first search we've made using old golf clubs. We can be more specific than that and put in an actual manufacturer. So if I were to put in, let's say, John Letters. John Letters has been around for quite a while, and they fairly recently went bust, so there'll probably be quite a few new clubs on this listing. Let's see what we've got. Scroll down a bit. John Letters Lee Trevino irons, vintage rare John Letters daily. What are these ones? John Letters Trilogy, they're quite a modern model. John Letters PGA. Let's have a look at those two. So these are John Letters Lee Trevino Super Mix. John Letters made 2 types of Lee Trevino irons, the Super Mix and the Master Mix. I think from memory the Super Mix was slightly more expensive than the Master Mix. So this is a full set of 9 irons. Face is looking very good condition. The ferrule is looking good condition. I don't know whether there's been any restoration done on these. The grips look original, so it might just be that they're in very good condition. The shaft bands look original, regular flex. There's very little wear on the soles, so I just think this is a very good condition set. £120, £12 carriage. Sounds a lot for an old set of clubs, but as I said earlier, try and find a set of blades 3 to sand wedge. That's 9 clubs. The 10 in this set would be the equivalent of the pitching wedge. So we're looking at, well, probably 12 or 14 pounds a club, whereas if you were buying new, they'd be 120 to 140 pounds a club. Nice set of clubs there. Next one, we've got a set of 9 John Letters PGA irons, 3 to sand wedge. So this should be 9 clubs again. John Letters made these clubs in association with the PGA. These are forged, I believe, from memory, and they are nice irons. Unfortunately, the seller hasn't given us very good pictures. It looks quite a bit of wear on the sole, so they do appear to have been played quite a bit. Just count the clubs: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitching wedge and sand iron. So yes, they are all there. Come with a bag. A nice set of irons. Again, price just over £100. If you waited long enough, you can probably find the same clubs for less than that. Depends how long you want to wait. So that's a very quick overview of eBay then. You tend to have a lot more choice on eBay than the other two sites, Facebook and Gumtree. Far more sellers with far more clubs to look at. They generally give good descriptions and pictures, and as I've shown, you can look at the feedback of the seller, and they are more willing to post their items than the sellers on Facebook and Gumtree. Right, let's move on to Facebook then. Right, here we are then on the Facebook Marketplace page. As I say, Facebook doesn't have as many items for sale as eBay does, so it's probably best to be a little bit more general in your description. So, and also, as I mentioned, most sellers expect you to collect the items. They're looking for local buyers. So the best thing to do is put in a location in the filter. I've put Birmingham here, within 40 kilometres. And then if I click on the search, I obviously searched before. Let's click on vintage golf and see what that brings us. We can see a set of irons there, another set there. Looks like some more Pat Simmons Tiger Shark there. Let's take a quick look at these. You can see this one has 3 pictures, so let's look at each one. We can't zoom in on these, unfortunately, like we can on eBay, but hopefully there'll be a photograph. Yep, here we go, there's a photograph a little bit closer of some of the irons, and these are Golfcraft Supreme. Not a hugely recognised manufacturer. We've also got a Dunlop DDH wedge there, a Dunlop Tour putter, another putter. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, and we've got they look like laminated woods, and the bag is manufactured by Whitehouse, Dudley, England. So there we are, and they are £15. They're for sale in Lichfield. Next one up, we have Henry and Bishop vintage golf clubs, 1 to 8. Here we go, we've got the grips there. Well, these look like an early steel shafted set. We can see brown shafts there, which are probably coated steel. The grips look like the original grips, but they are coming away. It probably would be possible to replace those. And there are the faces of the club, or the faces and the backs of the clubs. So we can see that they are Henry and Bishop. Can't quite make the model out. Yeah, so £10, Coventry, not too far if you're in Birmingham to travel for those. Nice set of early steel clubs. We can double click on these and sometimes they'll open to a more detailed picture. There's a close-up of the Henry and Bishop name. So that's Facebook then. It's more of a hit and miss really as to what you find. Okay, so here's the homepage for Gumtree. And as I said, in many ways Gumtree is very similar to Facebook. The sellers expect you to collect the item, and the choice isn't as great, and the pictures and descriptions aren't as good as on eBay. Again, because they expect collection, it's best to put in a location near to where you live. I've put Birmingham city centre there, so let's put in We'll just put in golf clubs this time. Should give us a few things to look at. With Gumtree, the first few listings are usually what they call sponsored links, as we can see here. So I normally jump straight over those onto the actual clubs. So golf clubs there, set of golf clubs, perfect starter set. Ladies and women's shoes, golf clubs. That looks like almost a full set. We'll look at those. The thumbnails in Gumtree are a little bit smaller as well, which means you got to be a little bit more, put your head right close to the screen, or just click on the items if you can't quite see them, and then take a look at what they are. Vintage putter from Harold Bird & Son. Okay then, going through what we've pulled up. The first one, we have a set of golf clubs. We've got 2 photographs to look at. First one doesn't help us a great deal, and neither does the second one, but we can see that these are a big modern wood or modern drivers, probably 10 or 15 years old, so the irons would likely be very similar. They look to be cavity back, so probably not the sort of thing we're looking for as vintage collectors. Next one, Ryder golf club bag. We've got 5 photographs to look at here. The bag again, and there's the clubs. They are Ryder clubs. Is there a better picture? One of the trolley and another of the trolley. So the real value of the sale, the clubs, we've got very little information on them. I'm trying to see. They look like they might be the low profile ones, but it's hard to say. Can't even tell whether it's a full set or not. Now that's that one. What are they asking for those? £112. Then we've got a vintage putter by Harold Bird & Son. We've got 3 pictures of this one. It says Harold Bird & Son, but I don't recognise that. Have we got that? Oh yes, it is on the hosel there. We can just make out H Bird. Can we click on that? Yes, we can. So we can see that there, H Bird. So it is a Harold Bird, and it's a Wilson 8802 style putter. Well, that should be a nice putter. How much is that one? £40. So that concludes a quick look at Gumtree. And I'll just make a quick summary now. Beginning with eBay, where you'll find by far the largest choice of items for sale. Descriptions and pictures are generally good. Sellers will be willing to post the items, and payment is generally geared towards eBay's own system, but you can pay with PayPal, cash on collection, etc. Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace, less choice, and most sellers will be looking for you to collect the item, so it's best to look in your local area. Pictures and descriptions can leave a little bit to be desired. Payment will generally be cash on collection, as the seller doesn't want to post the item. It is sometimes possible to arrange a courier to collect the items on your behalf. So that sums up things on a sort of a general level. There are, of course, physical places you can find golf clubs, particularly in America, where Goodwill stores and the like will often have golf clubs. It's not so easy to find them in the UK. There are very few charity shops that will have golf clubs available. So yeah, that's about it. It just leaves me to say happy hunting, and I hope you find some good golf clubs. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.